I played him in a tournament, and he starts spamming me, go, 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 you know, like what Jim just did. He starts spamming, go, 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 in a private message. And I just said, I'm not the host. Spam the other guy. But yeah, here we go. Getting into game number 1 of our final series of the day. This morning in the top right position. Is it? Oh no, the bottom left position. Sorry. I had to check on camera here. It is our Peruvian Protoss player. It is INFANSON for game.
Oh, and let's go. Spawning in the top right-hand corner of 2000 Atmospheres LE, we have the Mexican Zerg player going for a 12-pool opening representing Timbers Esports. It is JimRising.
Right. Correct me if I'm wrong, Light. Because I'm wrong a lot, but I believe that is a 12-pool opener for now, Mexican.
Wait, did your ears like just turn off? Did you? I literally just said. I literally just said that.
So I was too busy.
I literally just said that.
I was too busy like thinking in my head, I'm so awkward. Why did I say top right? And that's at the bottom left. So yeah, I spaced out. I apologize.
I was literally like going for a 12-pool, and you're like, correct me if I'm wrong. But it's a 12-pool.
Well, I saw Jim's tag as Makako as well, because I remember you mentioned. I didn't know that that's what. Remember when you introduced the word Makako to me, so I was a little confused. But then I saw the clan tag. So yeah, I was spaced out.
Oh my god. Meanwhile, this was scattered by the probe, so INFANSON is preparing at home. He does already have his Zealot on the way. Just barely. Oh my god, is going to finish? Oh my god.
He didn't even have his probe in the wall. That's such a Chad move.
That was so incredibly close, Jesus Christ. But Zealot does come out in time. A couple of boys are pulled as well to make sure nothing crazy goes on as he does dip out of the wall, push away these lings.
Yeah, that's right. And it's a very uniform wall here by INFANSON. These lings can't wail away on the furthest building from the choke point, which is that gateway, because there's no surface area. So the most exposed building, which is the gateway building getting chrono boosted now, is also kind of the most protected because the Zealots are right next to it. So great wall, decent position here with Maroon INFANSON, but it's nothing decisive, right? It's still kind of it's not great for Jim, but it's not the end of the world.
Yeah. Obviously, he wanted to get more value out of these initial lings. Unfortunately, he just hasn't found it. Does turn around, does come all the way back home, and he is forced to drone up from here. And now the ball is in INFANSON's court.
Yeah, that's right. And actually not losing those lings, it's even better for Jim because he can use it to wail on rocks. He doesn't have to build lings for the inevitable counterattack that's coming. These Zealots and this Adept. So it's still not a good position as you said, but it's still not the end of the world. And we have
no, Bobby, please! The Adept gets surrounded immediately by the slow lings and it goes down.
Oh wow, was that a shade? He shaded into the slow lings?
No, he walked into the slow lings and he tried to shade away.
Oh no, that. So yeah, we see those lings hanging off him.
Ay. So just like that, Jim, he has thwarted any kind of aggression or early pressure from INFANSON. He is going for a Stargate opening, and it looks like this will get scattered despite this Stalker.
Indeed. This is going to say the Stalker. The thing is, when you're a little bit behind economically, I like the Stargate follow-up because it forces out spore crawlers, obviously, and you need to kind of get your queens. And when you're already slightly behind in your economy, like every drone that you lose through building a spore crawler hurts even more. So I like this transition from INFANSON. So it'll be interesting to see BotA on the way from Jim, what he does with this.
Oh my god, BotA, interesting. I have to wonder if he plans to just use it to be a little bit annoying and get borrowed lings at each third base location and delay the third. I've seen him do that before. Yeah, it can be a really cheeky move. And again, this is kind of JimRising showing his personality through his play. The aggressor, the kind of quirky one out of the Latin American players.
Yeah, that's right. On the other side, we have a Twilight Cancel and a Robo coming down. So could this be a Void Rain to a Charged Archon build that we've seen him do so far this series? Like, do you think he's gonna?
Yeah. I imagine, yeah, there we go. Charge is on the way. So I love this because again, he's trying to bamboozle his opponent a little bit and try and like deceive him, make him think he's investing a little bit more into these Stargates. And so far this hasn't been scouted by Jim. He has no idea.
Yeah, that's right. We have a Roach Baron coming down for Jim as well. So Roach is pretty decent, I'd say, against charge lots, but you need to have a decent number of them. You can't really just, you know, out micro. You want to have it's kind of like dealing with the depths, right? You want to have your units at the front to force the shade. You need to be prepared for it. If you have to be like defending and being pushed back with roaches against charge or archon, I have to say already the engagement's not going great for you. So it'd be interesting to see, you know, if he manages to scout what INFANSON's doing and how he reacts to it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, he does have an Overlord over the third base. If he wanted to, he could try and dip into the main, but he hasn't gone for it yet. And even if he did, there is a Stalker to stop that. Also, I was just kind of looking for the Void Ray. Okay, there we go. The Void Ray is across the map. I was like, mate, how is this Overlord still alive? I mean, he's trying to find some damage. Surprisingly, the Void Ray actually hasn't killed anything. Oh my god.
Yeah, Void Ray's just vibing. We do see Jim coming in here. Even though he does not get a lot of damage, he does see that there's zealots being warped in, and that should be enough to, trigger a lot of roaches on the way. He should be aware that normally you don't warp in zealots unless you're planning to be aggressive with them, because they're not the greatest defensive units, so this is looking good for Jim.
Oh my god, and Jim is forcing INFANSON's hand right now because he warps in across the map, not at home. The third base is going to fall. But INFANSON doesn't care because he's essentially going for a bit of a two-base all-in at this point. He's forced to do it. He comes across the map, but the roaches, they're already done.
Yeah, this is it. There's already a decent massive roaches. That roach borer positioning is really good as well to lower the surface area. Queen's trying to dive on the warp prism. Are they going to get it? Yes, they do cancel the warp in. And this looks like a pretty clean hold for our Mexican circle.
Wow, that was beautiful, mate. The way that he was able to just shut down that warp prism, immediately stopping any kind of warp in. And behind this, the third base is dead. Everything is coming up Jim, and INFANSON is down to less than half the supply.
Yeah, that's right. What can INFANSON do here? Like, it's looking very, very dark for us. Light and dark. The horizon is quite dark for our Protoss players.
What is wrong with you?
Even the burrow is circling to deny it. Each third base location.
This is what I was talking about. Jim didn't even need to do this, but he does style his opponent with these borrowed Meanwhile, INFANSON, he's still all in. He remade the War Prism. He's making nothing but zealots. He's hoping that maybe JimRising droned up behind this. Unfortunately, he didn't. He's still making nothing but roaches.
That's right, and he still does have a critical mass of roaches that will be able to kite and push back, even though he does not have roach speed. Being on creep, and I think we're going to see a comfortable victory here in game one for Jim.
And there it is. GG gets called just as Chase called. Jim takes the lead in the series.
I'm very good at seeing the screen in front of me and diverging information from it, so...
Yeah, I thought you were going to say you're like a prophet, mate. You can see like a couple of seconds ahead, you know?
I can. Are you ready? I'm going to see a couple seconds ahead now.
Yeah?
I saw that you weren't saying anything and you're thinking this is really awkward right now.
Oh my god.
I tell ya.
Beautiful, mate. Beautiful.
But yeah, game one to Jim. And 2,000 atmosphere is quite a big map too, so decent victory.
True. Very true. Very true. It was a great like kind of pivot as well from Jim. Like it was a really rough opening going for a 12 pool and not really achieving too much, but he was able to bounce back, right? Like shutting down the Adept was honestly pretty huge. Like it was insane that happened.
Yeah, that's right. He managed to kind of deny the scouting as well, and even though INFANSON had like a plan kind of like stuck in his head of how to proceed in that game, it was really good that it allowed Jim to kind of have that extra economical kind of push. He didn't need to worry about making extra lings or worrying about the zealots because they were no longer supported by that Adept, so they didn't want to commit. And it was just great play.
Great play indeed. But now we are diving into game number 2, and so we see this map was not vetoed. It is going to be the largest map in the map pool, aside from Berlingrad, of course. It is Glittering Ashes.
Yeah, and I think Glittering Ashes, it's what do you take from the map like? Because It's quite large. It's also a bit choky. It's got a lot of rocks. Who do you think this would favor in this kind of circumstance?
If INFANSON were to try to go for a sky toss, I would honestly really approve of sky toss on this map. I think it'd be pretty good. Oh, hold on. Is he gonna do it? Jimbo, is he gonna come out with Terran? PVT is unwinnable.
Maybe. Oh, there we go. Maybe he went to the bathroom.
Oh my god. The dream, mate. The dream.
Yes, we did see. I don't know if the guys in chat can see, but Jim sticking instead of switching to Zerg, he was on Terran, and I'm guessing from Light's reaction that Jim sometimes like to bust out the off races versus Protoss. Does commit to Zerg, so not that wild yet, at least.
We've seen Jim off race sometimes we've seen him do it against Special, we've seen him do it against Cham. Again, sometimes does spice some things up.
Indeed. So, heading into game number 2 of the series, the spicy Protoss player himself, playing for Root Gaming, it is INFANSON.
And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Glittering Ashes LE, we have the Mexican Zerg player. He is blue, representing Timbers Esports. And macacos all over the world, it is JimRising.
So yeah, we see Jim's gonna have to go for our 18 hatch here. Normally, Zerg players will send the drone down at about 37 seconds, a little bit earlier than normal, because they can scout ahead forward and see if that probe's going to get the block off. But Jim just kind of sent it down at the standard timing, which means his base is going to be a little bit later because he has to take it further away. So already not optimal for Jim. Of course, not even being able to take your natural is not optimal in that regard, but pretty decent little win for INFANSON. So.
Yeah. INFANSON, if he knows how to do anything, it is to block that natural base. So, very well done.
Probe just skirting around. We do have a Nexus before Cybercore here, so pretty safe, I guess. Especially scouting at a pool time, you feel definitely safe.
Yeah.
I assume there is some cases where you can go for a maybe quick DT. You want to get the Cybercore before the natural expansion, but as we've seen from INFANSON, he's just, I guess he feels comfortable going into the mid games. So.
See, I mean, this is why I bring you on, Chase. Because never will I ever hear like someone go, mate, Cyber before Nexus DTs. Like, oh my, okay, let's go.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
I'm like, you know what? Yeah, sure. Why not? Right? Like, there's a world where if the player had as big a brain as Chase, that could be happening.
Oh no! See, now I don't know if you're being facetious or not. I just know I've died just like 4-minute DTs in that house. But Jim fully taking off a Ling. Gaslit guys are here, so he's gonna go full drone mode, or is he gonna be going for a Ling? Look at the production tab.
Yeah, exactly. Nothing but Lings on the way. He does have vision of this base. Who did see the opening, but it does get plugged up here. INFANSON does have a full wall, but there is no shield battery behind this. Lings can definitely bust through and adapt.
Yeah, and this could be hitting before the Voider actually comes out. We have Lings already skirting across the map now. 2 adepts could be useful, but without a shield battery, they're not going to hold the wall forever. So looks like Jim is good. Is he going to be attacking straight away?
Oh, we'll see. He's buying a little bit more time. 10 more Lings in production. And by the way, Ling speed just about to finish up, and then it is going to be go time.
That's right, here we have the Lings coming into this choke point. Is it a full wall? Yes, it is. INFANSON holding ground. Oh, tries to get a pylon down, but no, that's blocked by the Lings. A different type of critter block this time, and the Lings just going to get in and shred these adepts.
Oh my god.
Not like this.
Exactly, not like this. The wall was a wall until it wasn't. For Nada INFANSON, the Lings, they all flood in. GG gets called.
That was rough. It's crazy. I don't know if Jim saw something in the wall that made him feel like he could maybe push an advantage, or he just did the build on a win because he was up a game. But that went as well as you could probably you would have hoped.
Yeah, that was wild. I mean, obviously when you're a Zerg player, when you see a wall like that, when you see only like a single adept, there's no Stalker, there's no shield battery, it does look vulnerable and it looks tempting to try and go for that Ling Flood. But as you said, everything went right for him there. I would have assumed that, the pro would walk forward, throw down a building, sure an adept dies, but maybe it is able to shade out. But yeah, the control wasn't necessarily there for INFANSON.
Yeah, and that's kind of rough. It's looking a bit like the first series where Jim's he's managed to play his own game and dictate the pace, or he's being able to scout what's going on and comfortably kind of work a way to nullify it. So I'm a little bit worried for INFANSON here, but I'm hoping he can pull it back, because the games in this scene are pretty wild, and I'm enjoying watching them so far.
Oh my god, you keep saying that, mate. All the games of the CranKy Ducklings are fun, okay? What are you talking about?
Man, I'm just used to dying to Sky Tools after 40 minutes. So anything beats that.
Oh my god. See, this is why you should play in GPO, right? Just saying. I mean, no. The only one who's going to do that is Starduck, okay?
I feel like I is right now. Game number 3, Hardwire Ladder Edition.
Oh boy, as we're just setting up here and up, setting up the players. There we go. Beautiful.
Now, we talked about servers before, right? They're playing on Eastern United States now. Is that the best server for... Because Peru's near Brazil, right? It's in South America.
Chase, is every country near Brazil for you in Latin America?
I know Chile's like the long one, but Brazil's like the largest one.
Yeah, it's like Berlingrad, right?
Yes, Brazil is the Berlingrad of South America.
Oh god.
Okay. Anyway, here we go. Game number 3. He's down 2 games at the moment. Can he bring it back? It is a Peruvian Protoss player from Root. It is INFANSON.
And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Hardwire LE, we have the Mexican Zerg. He is blue, representing Timbers Esports, currently up 2-0 in this best of 5 qualifying match. It is JimRising.
Alright. Light.
Yo.
I've just googled, and Peru is literally on the border of Brazil. Okay. So leave me alone.
Hey, I didn't say it wasn't next to Brazil.
Oh, man. You are a funny man.
Oh god, shaking my head, mate, shaking my head. So, for I guess a bit of a fun fact. Of course, Mexico is next to America, so Mexican players, they do prefer the US West server. When it comes to the rest of Latin America, they do prefer the Eastern server whenever they can. It is specifically the more southern portions of South America and Brazil itself that do prefer the Brazilian server, because even though Brazil is next to Peru, the country itself is quite large and the server itself is actually pretty far south.
That's right. Brazil is a big geography lesson here. Brazil is a big country, but yeah, that makes sense. Forgive my ignorance. It's been a long time since I've left countries, but
it's okay. You're Australian,
Yeah. All I know is Australia and America. Apparently not, because Brazil's in South America. So. Anyway, look in this game, and this is very, very interesting from Jim this time around. Was this a 3-hatch before pool?
Yep.
Was it a
Yep.
Oh my word, is he got the gas guys on?
Yep. He went double. He went 3 hatch gas before pool, mate.
Oh my god, what a king. And this probe, which has blocked like every natural base. It's like, oh, what if I don't block the natural once? And yeah, 3 bases.
Exactly. The probe was honestly too late, and just the worst case scenario for INFANSON has happened here. And yeah, as you said, Jim, he's wild. This is the greediest opener you can go for. But I mean, he's not necessarily going to be punished for it at all.
Yeah, we don't even have a chrono boost coming down from that on that gateway, and we have a stalker first actually, which is probably maybe the most defensive unit you can kind of go apart from the sentry.
Yeah.
So it looks like INFANSON just kind of, he's got a game plan in mind for this game that he wants to materialize, and he's gonna let Jim get away with this 3 hatch opening.
Yeah, mate. Like, why don't we just see this more often? You know, like I've seen you open up more often than not. You know, like with a 12 pool or a 13-12 or something. But 3 hatch gas before pool. You know, when is Chase doing this?
Reminds me of the Stefano days from, was it Heart of the Swarm or Wings of Liberty? Wings of Liberty.
Heart of the Swarm.
Heart of the Swarm. Yeah, the old Roach Max.
Yep.
But yeah, I'm curious. I feel like in this sort of game, like Jim's kind of already played his hand. It's kind of going to depend on like what INFANSON wants to do. And as we see, just 2 gateways coming down, it's just going to be another 4-gate adept pressure.
Yeah, I love this just because you say another 4-gate adept pressure, but actually INFANSON hasn't done that this entire night.
Yeah, he did a 3-gate, right?
Yeah. Typically he's only gone for 3 gates, which is why like the Glaive Adepts have been pretty lackluster from the side of INFANSON. This time, much more committed, much more standard, a lot more potential for this to deal damage and punish the greed of JimRising.
Yeah, that's right. I didn't see the 2nd gateway in the wall building, so you're right. You can go 3-gate, or you could go even 5-gate. You have to cut probes in that regard, but 4-gate, it kind of defined the meta for a long time. It's a very decent, very strong build, and it was kind of figured out with Zerg's off standard openings, but this is not a standard opening by Jim by any amount.
Exactly. So now is the time for INFANSON to shine, and he's going to be going across the map here. What's interesting is that this variant did not have a robo, so there's no war prism, so the adepts that you see here are all that you get as they are rushing across the map.
Yeah, that's right. As we see, a 3rd base coming down for INFANSON. This is just kind of, he's probably not going to try and commit these adepts, which is what you normally do with this kind of robo-less build. He might see an opening, but I think that considering it's a 3-hatch opener, who knows what he's going to do.
Yeah, like because of it, I do wish that he did go for a robo opening. He does commit to the shade, immediately gets surrounded by these lings, but again, lings against adepts. There are no roaches, but he has to buy a little bit more time. The roaches, they're about to pop out.
Yeah, that's right. Actually, he throws caution to the wind. He does jump in the base, like this maybe 3-hatch opener kind of makes him feel a little bit more comfortable. As we see, 2 Stargates going down at home as well, so that's his contingency plan in case it's a counter-attack, but it's a lot of lings on the way, and these adepts will get cleaned up, and
yeah.
Jim should move across the map here now.
Exactly, all the adepts go down. Jim, he's going to be rushing across the map. What is it to defend this 3rd base? We do have a couple of adepts. Even though we have 2 Stargates, Void Rays are not going to be ready in time to defend against this push.
Yeah, that's right. Normally that's why we don't see the Protoss kind of jumping in with this kind of no robo, and Stalker in the wall thankfully will stop this ling run by, but INFANSON should know now that these roaches are going to be coming across as well.
Yeah, exactly. And will this stop the ling run by? Because the lings, they get nice service area on this gateway. It's going to go down. What I will say is that Jim is distracted. He's not going for the 3rd base. He's trying to go for a little bit more of a committed attack. And because of that, it does delay things. And it does mean that INFANSON, he may be able to hold on to his 3rd.
Yeah, that's right. Unfortunately, INFANSON could only produce 1 Void Ray from his 2 Stargates, so he's only got 1 out of the map here. He's got another one coming as well, but it's just very tight here after investing so much in those adepts. He's got adepts in the natural as well, and Void Ray always getting taken down, but what? What's happening?
The Void Ray does almost go down. The Adepts honestly dealing a decent amount of damage. 6 drones do fall. It will eventually be cleaned up. Meanwhile, on the other side of the map, both gateways were taken out. The wall is quite exposed, to be honest. There's a gaping hole here, and the roaches are pushing through despite the Void Rays. Like, their DPS is just not high enough. Like, the roaches are getting into the mineral line. Well, they should be.
That's right. And there's even like a queen coming joining the mix as well. This third base now to fire as well. I think these void rays, they will eventually clean this up, but it's just going to be so much economically damaged sunlight, and I'm not sure if INFANSON's going to be able to stabilize, especially with these 3 hatches that Jim's just rallying at him.
Oh, exactly. The Roaches, meanwhile, did eventually take down that third base. I was worried earlier that INFANSON would be able to hold on to it. No, I was wrong. The Roaches just far too strong here. They take out the third. They head towards the natural once again, and these 3 void rays again. It just takes them so long to clean up these Roaches.
Yeah, that's right, and I think that INFANSON's going to eventually clean them up, and he's going to have a small window to kind of counter with these void rays, but Jim should be starting to add the spores, and he's actually got a Hydra and finishing Hydras in the way now, so
Oh my god.
this is looking just very grim for our Peruvian Protoss player.
Yeah, it really is. Chase, oh my god, INFANSON, what can he do? What can he do to get back into this?
He can mine minerals and make buildings. But yeah, I think Jim's just kind of, he's just played this very well.
Yeah.
INFANSON, unfortunately, it's kind of, yeah, he does manage to stabilize, but he's lost so many workers, and against the 3 hatch opening, it's even rougher.
Exactly. It's one of those things where you're 100% correct in saying that these Void Rays, they could potentially go for a counterattack and maybe punish the Zerg player, but he just can't leave right now because of all these things. They're keeping Marooned, they're keeping INFANSON at home, and meanwhile, across the map, that Hydra count is getting higher and higher.
Yeah, that's right. He's kind of had to keep tabs on these links. He can't actually go across the map. He can't even secure a third base even. Walling off his naturals again now. He does have a lot of Void Rays, so 7 is a decent number, but I think that, yeah, the Hydras are coming across the map now, and they have, yeah, +1 and range on the way. Range especially is going to be very difficult to hit this
God. Oh god, speaking of, we do see the Hydras engage with some of these Void Rays. The Void Rays so far, another. Oh god, the move command! The pathing!
Yeah, there's no shield, but the Ling's even coming to the natural, and that is GG. JimRising is going to qualify with a 3-0 victory over INFANSON.
GG, well played. Congratulations as Jim does it for all the Zergs out there. ZvP confirmed winnable?
What? I didn't hear what you just said. But yeah, we'll say lucky win for Jim. Yeah, no, she played really well in that series. He definitely experience kind of shining through there. And especially, yeah, even playing versus Cham, he did decently versus Cham as well. So he'll be happy to qualify along with his Mexican compadre, his brother from the same state. And again, INFANSON unlucky, but keep an eye out for this guy for sure.
Oh yeah, yeah. Also, something odd that happened, and I didn't even know if you noticed it, but for that final game, Jim did switch from his barcode to his main account.
Oh, what a troll! He did too. No, I didn't. Wait, was he a barcode the whole series, or was it just the final game?
Was it for the final game or game 2? I think it was for the final game, right?
Wait, what? It says he's a barcode in the post game.
No, true. Yeah. Wait. I swear I saw his name.
Is it because he put his name on the overlay? Maybe,
because if you scroll up, do you see lobby chat?
Am I losing my mind already?
Do you see lobby chat when you scroll up? Do you see the lobby chat?
Macaco JimRising.
Yeah, like it's not a barcode in lobby chat.
Right?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Like
yeah,
for the last game, he had his name, but not on the score screen.
Wild. That's really weird.
Oh my god. Well, regardless, congratulations, JimRising and Chan. Our 2 Mexican players will qualify for the OSC Super Series. They'll be representing their nation, their land, and their country. And they're going to be going up against other players, other top-tier players like the likes of Trigger, like, who else do we have here? Vanya, Art, Mana, all these top-tier Europeans and North American players.
Let's see, yeah, they're going to be representing their scene. Hopefully putting in a good showing. Zerg, the weakest race we know, but we'll see that. I think, yeah, I guess looking through the bracket, I may be a little bit expected, especially Chan going through, but I think all in all, the games are pretty good, and definitely I think that I think Cham especially he has the potential to do well in on the, I guess, the main stage. But I'm excited to see JimRising. I guess, as you said, he hasn't played for a couple of weeks, so it's good to see him kind of back and qualifying off the bat. So,
Oh yeah,
yeah,
definitely. I'm sure you're aware of this, but Jim has also been captivated by Age of Empires, just like a bunch of the other ANZ players. I know he got a lot of attention from that Day 9 clip. Did you see it? Did you?
Oh no, I haven't yet.
There was a ladder game between Day 9 and JimRising where Day 9 was like up in supply, it was pushing out with all his elephants, and then there was a big Wololo moment where it was all his Day 9's entire army was converted by monks.
Oh, really?
It was like, what?
That sounds like fun, to be honest. Yeah, I think with Age of Empires 4 coming out, a lot of players have been captivated by the new release. It's very fresh, but it does provide a lot of opportunity for those guys who are, just breaking out the StarCraft scene and want to really push to the top level. So I'm expecting to see some players that are really gonna, really excel, while there's other players, such as even in our OCC scene, you got Hut and Cedar Azure, these players who are on the top, they're kind of stagnating, not practicing. So
yeah, it's really cool to see. I mean, some diversity as well. It's cool to see like I guess returning to Age of Empires 4 and stuff like that. Panda Bear Me as well. Some of these players that were a little bit less active, but like for me, like that's all I'm really interested in when it comes to Age of Empires 4. The competitive scene is I just want to see like all the StarCraft players and see how well they do, right? Like that's kind of where I'm at.
There goes our little boy.
Yeah,
Marine Lord is playing really, really well as well.
Mm-hmm. You got Marine Lord, you got Lucifron, you got Vortex.
Yeah, Vortex and Lucifron. There's even a bit of a rivalry. I've heard the StarCraft boys kind of versus the AoE 2 boys, and they're like, we're better. It's fun to watch. It's refreshing, but it's no StarCraft. I think StarCraft is a really great spectator esport, personally, in my preference. So
yeah, I agree. Like again, like for me, if it wasn't for these like known StarCraft players like competing in Age of Empires 4, I don't know if I would have watched it. But yeah, we'll see how well they do in the upcoming events as we near the end of the year and the end of the broadcast as well. Mate, thank you so much for joining me today, man. Thank you. Sorry
for destroying your brain halfway through. The first time it was Twilight. This time it's geography. I enjoyed it. Thanks for having me on. You've got what, 2 hours until your next tournament?
1 hour. But
poor thing.
Yeah, I'm kind of debating whether or not we should cast ESL Asia. I'm honestly tired from ANZ Champs last night. I'm so tired after that. If it wasn't for that, then 100% we would be casting ESL ANZ. ESL Open Cup Asia. I'm very torn about that right now. I'm very torn.
We'll see. It's a struggle, isn't it? It's also great because you've got so much opportunity and events that you can cast. So
yeah.
Again, it's a reoccurring event I bring up. It's great. There's so much stuff going on for the scene. The poor little Light. He needs his Final Fantasy 14 fix and a bit of a nap time sometimes.
I do. Speaking of, I saw you in the chat, mate. You keep talking about it. When are we getting a Chase Final Fantasy stream?
Tonight, but in Discord, not. I don't want everyone seeing me make like a cat girl.
That's content though. That's content.
Oh, maybe one day. After the StarCraft stream that I promised for 6 months.
Oh my god, we want to see the cat girl. We want to see you like use the bust slider as well.
Oh man, I'll get Funari if I do that.
Oh god.
More updates. Yeah.
But yeah, like people in the chat, if you are interested in my lovely co-caster here on my left, he doesn't stream too often, unfortunately, so may not be worth following his Twitch channel, but check him out on Twitter because he does love to create memes from time to time. They're alright. Give him some love, give him some support, give him some likes, give him some follows over at MF_Chasu.
Yes, correct. Give me that technical validation, so I feel like less of a human failure.
Yeah.
But
And tweet at him your favorite anime because he is looking for some more anime to watch and add to his anime watch list.
thanks, Slide. Yeah.
Do people still do
I
that?
still haven't watched any. I don't know. Wait, watch anime? That's really... Oh, man. And again, I must say, follow my beautiful... He's over here for me, but he's over here for you. Follow my co-caster, Light, at Light_VIP. He is a professional... I guess you're a caster, but you stream. He does a lot of stuff with CranKy Ducklings. Yeah, it's super fun. I'm gonna put it in the Twitch chat. There we go. Oh, you spelled Vasters wrong. There we go.
Thank you so much. Thank you for that. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Oh, Yaku's on. He's awake.
He got out of bed. He got out of bed.
No, he wants to go back to bed.
Oh no.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. So for everyone in the chat, typically we are live almost every single day of the week, with events like this, Battle of the Americas, where we feature NA and North American and Latin American players, Korean players with ESL Open Cup, as well as some Southeast Asian and Oceanic players with our GPOs, where you can see players like this, like Chase. He may be good with words, but he's also even better with his hands.
Even I'm not dumb to know you're playing now. Good with words, man.
Oh god, he's.
We always have fun when we cast together.
Yeah, and he's a good player as well. He's a good player, and to my dismay, he may not compete as much as I would like, but he'll be there. He'll be there at some point.
I'll be around. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll make sure of it.
The Light doesn't compete either. I'm
just busy casting. Like
you do have abilities.
I miss playing in like WSG qualifiers and the champ qualifiers and DreamHack qualifiers. Like
it's fun.
Yeah.
Good old times. But yeah. We still have good times. We create good times with CranKy Ducklings doing so much content. So thank you, and thank you team, Kuro and the rest of the guys, Steel Molders and the international guys for kind of like working hard behind the scenes. A lot of them don't get the appreciation they deserve for tournaments such as this, and
yeah. Again, massive shout out to Kuro in the chat, 16 Squats and Seki. She actually jumped in as a last minute admin for this event to round up the players and to update the scores on Wikipedia and stuff. So massive shout out to Kuro for doing that. I know it's really late in Europe. And with that, thank you everyone for watching. Our next broadcast, I do think I'm probably gonna go to bed after this. I can't. I don't think I'm gonna be able to do ESL Asia tonight, unfortunately. But our next broadcast will be in 2 days. We are gonna be casting NA Apprentice Group Stage 2, as well as our semifinals BTL match. CranKy Ducklings, we are going up against License to Kill, the NA team, in the semifinals, and we actually just played out our series as we were casting this tournament, so it will be casted by replays. I will be joined by a guest caster, most likely Starduck. I know he's been wanting to cast for a while now, but if not Starduck, then I'll drag someone else on, whether it's Chase or maybe even Oreo. Yeah, I'll get him on.
Even Chappie will be a good cast, I reckon.
Chappie? He's too busy playing Age of Empires. What are you talking about?
Everyone's playing Age of Empires.
Orio's not playing Age of Empires.
True.
Are you playing Age of Empires?
No, I'm not. What have I been playing?
Oh, there you go. Rocket League.
I've been playing, trying to get Final Fantasy to work. It's just troubleshooting for so long. What have you been playing, Light?
StarCraft.
Good boy.
Oh god.
But yeah, all the best. Be safe, everyone out there. Stay cool. Feed ducks grapes, not bread, because bread is apparently bad for them, but ducks like grapes, right?
They do like grapes.
Yes.
Thank you everyone for watching, and we will see you guys next time. Ciao. just don't say anything. All right, cool, yeah.
Wait, me?